It's Dr. MUSO. Today we want to talk about the boom. We want to talk about what took place in America. Remember, America participated in the World War One. The war started in 1914 and it ended in 1918. In 1918 now, we discover that a boom took place in America. America having joined the World War One in April 1917. So when the war ended in 1918, there was a boom, a noise that started to take place in America economically. So today we want to look on the reasons that led to the boom, to the economical expansion in America. Remember, so many countries now during the World War One, they had to borrow funds, they had to borrow money from America so that they could sustain themselves in this so-called World War One, so that they would continue participating in the World War One. So soon after the war now, we discover that those countries started to return the money that they borrowed from America. So retaining that money now, it led to the boom in America. So our first part is to look on the reasons that led to the boom in America. Number one, we discovered that there was great industrial expansion in the late 19th century. So the industrial expansion that started to take place after the World War One, it led to the boom in America. Another one was that America enjoyed victory after the World War One. The side, the Allied powers, they won after 1918. So winning now, it meant that America was going to be a superpower. Why? It is because she had entered what the war led in 1917. 1917 entering the war, 1918 the war ending. So the victory of the Allied powers, it went to the boom in America. Mechanization also increased productivity. Mechanization that is also started to take place in Europe now, it increased productivity. Increase in the productivity now, it led to the boom in America. The motor industry also stimulated expansion in a number of allied industry, e.g. the building of roads, the tire industry, the garage started to be started, battery companies started to be started. So the motor industry now also played an important part in the boom in America. It stimulated industrial growth. It stimulated a growth in America in terms of the economy. You also talk about introduction of the high purchase system. The high purchase system, it was introduced. The introduction of the high purchase system, it led to the boom in America. Also, the repayment of debts by the Allied forces to America. Countries that had borrowed the money, they started to pay back the monies to America. And when they were paying these monies now, they were paying the monies with interest. So paying back the monies, paying back the money that they had borrowed now with interest, boom, 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 lead to the great boom in America. Also, the issue of the tariff system, we also see that it held the domestic market and it also discouraged imports. So the tariff system that was introduced again, it contributed to the boom, boom, boom to the boom, boom, boom in America. So these are the factors that took place in America, which led to the boom in America. Then things somehow changed. Why? Because in 1928, 1929, boom, there was now the Great Depression. So when the Great Depression now took place now, we see that the President of America, President Franklin Roosevelt, he had to take now action to deal with the Great Depression. So we now want to look on the measures that were taken by Franklin Roosevelt to deal with the Great Depression in America. He introduced what was known as the Banking Act of 1933. It was a measure to help the system that was now affecting America. The Farmers Relief Act of 1933, it was also introduced to assist the farmers. The Security Exchange Commission of 1933, it was also introduced by President Franklin Roosevelt to do or to deal with the Great Depression that was now affecting America. The National Recovery Act of 1933. It's another act that he also introduced. The Agricultural Adjustment Act, the Triple A of 1933. It was also introduced. The Public Works Administration of 1935, it was also introduced. The Civilian Conservation Corps of 1935, it was also introduced. The Social Security Act, the SSA of 1935, it was also introduced. The Tennessee Valley Authority of 1935, it was also introduced. And the One Act of 1935, it was also introduced. So these were the acts that were introduced by President Franklin Roosevelt to deal with the Great Depression that was now ravaging the economy of America, that was now affecting America. So these measures were meant to revamp, they were meant to bring about a turnabout in the economy of America. So that is what we have on the Great Depression and the boom in America. Boom, boom, boom with Dr. MUSO. Thank you so much.